Hey, I was looking at the shipment update today and it was kind of a surprise. It was originally scheduled to arrive by Monday from what I saw yesterday, but just looking at it today, I guess they bumped it up saying it's gonna arrive by Friday. That's the estimate. Friday, 9 p.m. Apparently, where's it at right now? In Oregon. So let's see if that works out. Did the drone decide to go out of the box and fly itself as opposed to staying inside the delivery truck? Although I guess in terms of drones, it was kind of interesting reading this, where there was a drone light show, but this one had a twist, where it was for a video game called Princess Connect RE Dive. And during the light show, they actually had this formation where it made a QR code, so you could literally point your cell phone on it, just like a regular QR code, and it'll bring you to a site and all that with all the information. So that was kind of interesting. You get a show and an advertisement. Although with that said, some people are really skeptical about that, saying, oh, that's it, now there's gonna be advertisements in the air now with drones flying around making QR codes. It makes me think too, because technically, if you point your camera at the sky and take a picture of that, it would technically go to that site. That's how a lot of the cameras work actually with the QR codes. You turn the camera on, when it sees the code, it'll ask or go to the site saying, oh, here you are, here's the information. I guess for people wondering how skies are going to be commercialized, I guess this is one way on how companies are going to do it eventually. And I guess the news everywhere, even here, related to that George Floyd death in the US last year, and today was the trial for that police officer, whether or not he would be found guilty. And apparently it was. This one here says, jury's swift verdict for ex-cop Derek Chauvin in George Floyd death. Guilty. After 3 weeks of testimony, the trial of the former police officer charged with killing George Floyd ended swiftly, barely over a day of jury deliberations, then just minutes for the verdicts to be read, guilty, guilty, and guilty. And Derek Chauvin was handcuffed and taken away to prison. And I like how there's a police siren and stuff in the background as I'm reading this. Apparently, too, people around the area and businesses were really scared of what the verdict may be. For example, if he was found not guilty, people were preparing for huge riots and stuff like that. So it was a huge relief for everyone that he was found guilty. Although you would think that would be the end of it, I guess people just aren't having luck down there for some reason. Apparently, this news was going everywhere too, where a girl was shot by a police officer. This one here says, the following statement can be attributed in full or in part to the Columbus branch of NAACP. It says, while many of us waited anxiously on the verdict in the George Floyd murder case, a black child was killed at the hands of a law enforcement. Moments before the verdict was rendered, 16-year-old Ma'Khia Bryant was shot 4 times in the chest by a Columbus police officer. Ma'Khia Bryant died shortly thereafter. Holy, you can imagine, I guess again, people are saying this is a race issue and so forth. However, that doesn't seem to be the case when you actually look at everything, because apparently in this situation, police were really quick to release things like the body footage camera, and it kind of paints a completely different picture. Now, whether or not it's right, I think that's the huge debate, but initially I think most of the reports were just saying, again, it's like a race issue and so forth. But for the story goes, somebody phoned 911 saying a girl was threatening other people and so forth. So when the officer arrived in the scene, you can see in the video, this girl takes out a knife and it looks like she was about to stab her. And with that, the officer shot her.
Hey! What's going on? Hey, what's going on? Hey! 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 Get down! Get down! Get down! Get down!
She came out at you with a knife earlier?
No, she just, that's what the police did.
That lady on the floor?
She came after me.
With a knife?
Yeah, so he got her.
So now that's creating huge division as well. Some people were saying there was no need to shoot the girl. Like here, you can read in the comments, this person says she was 16 years old, pepper spray would have worked. Whereas other people would say, okay, yes, but if someone were lunging at you with a knife, what would you want the police to do? Attempt to use pepper spray and hope that works? I don't know how a pepper spray would work in that situation. They were pretty far away from each other. What would you do in that case actually? Just let the person go and say like, oh, well, hopefully she was bluffing with a knife and all that? I don't know. That's a little tricky in that situation. It's a completely different scenario here. But will this actually divide people still? People just can't get a break in the world, huh? In terms of just having peace, I guess. Some people were even saying they could have shot the girl in the leg, for example. In that situation though, is that actually realistic if you're a law enforcement officer to aim at the leg and hope that you hit it with a smaller target with the risk that she will potentially stab the other person. It seems like one of those things where I don't think people should comment on it unless they have actual real hands-on experience or practical experience in that way. It's just too easy to view it as if your whole knowledge base is what you see on things like movies, and I think that's a mistake in that sense. I don't even know what else kind of weapon you could use in that sense just to, I guess, disarm the person. A taser? Would that have actually worked too? And for the drone, I've been using the Mavic Pro again, just retesting it. It's basically showing its age. I can tell it's like, retire me already. I actually forgot you had to actually tap to do the focus and stuff too. But you can kind of see the different, I guess, picture quality as well between all the drones. I was thinking too, big drone versus smaller drone. I still think the big one is better overall. It's just the only problem is the first generation one, the bitrate is actually really low. But you can just tell in terms of capturing things like sunlight and so forth, it's just not the same. It's just like a camera too, I guess you could say. All these cameras, so to speak, could have, let's say, a 1-inch sensor, but you could tell the difference just based on so many other factors. But I've just been lightly testing it so far just because it's been in hibernation for so long. Even the batteries and stuff, at first it was like hibernation mode, and you had to recalibrate almost everything, the vision sensors and all that too, just because I had to get the ribbon and stuff replaced again, because that was the issue. Almost looks like it cleaned its feathers. Right, see you guys later.